Oh yeah, I said hello before the icons even loaded. Yes. But yes,
That's
welcome
cheating.
to Fractures of Reality. In the last session, the party had some minor headaches and they discovered a plot to assassinate the king.
Possibly.
Possibly.
No, we are.
Yeah. We haven't
No,
found it.
no.
We haven't really found anything concrete yet, or even or even whether or not the drow are going to
I
actually
wasn't
try
finished
to.
explaining though, so you guys
Oh.
kind of beat me to the punch. I was going to explain that.
Oh.
Guess.
Glad to see you guys remember though. But yes, a possible assassination attempt against the king when he goes to release the dragon egg that rests in the elf city. It is believed that they want to use this chance to get a powerful artifact. And that's about where we left off. You guys were all quietly discussing things and you came to a small plan. And I don't believe you guys have gone to bed yet, so it's still, the festival is still 2 days away.
Flora just threw in her suggestion of true sight and polymorphing self when mentioning the possible heist if it happens.
Okay.
Do you
Well, the
still
thing
get
about-
true sight?
What was that?
Do you still get true sight when you're polymorph?
Do I still have true sight when I'm polymorphed and don't have eyes?
Do you want to have true sight when you're polymorphed?
Probably.
Then yes, you would.
The thing is, you can only polymorph into beasts, and you don't
I can
keep
polymorph into a bookshelf.
But you don't
not
keep
sure.
you don't keep your mental stats when you polymorph.
I'm an eldritch abomination. You think that applies to me?
Yes, it is natural for one to assume that the laws of how magic work was to apply to someone who's casting said magic.
You said my polymorph was magic.
Look,
I just call it
Magic
polymorph.
skill. Magic skill has limits.
I'm just gonna lay it out. It's not the spell true polymorph. They can polymorph into something truly, if that makes sense.
True polymorph was more of an explanation.
Example. If Flora wanted to be an elf, they could change their entire appearance and their abilities to become that of an elf.
Oh, so they're every race, even as a full race. Okay.
They get side abilities, and one of those abilities is they can just become whatever race they want. For example, if they wanted to become a chair, they could become the chair and they'd still retain their ability to change back and their true sight, but they would still be a chair. Like, the chair can't talk. As an example of its limitations.
Okay. Wouldn't be able to hear anything either.
How quickly can you do this?
It takes me about 5 minutes. Let me double check the thing.
I believe it's 10 minutes.
It says 5 minutes in here.
Okay.
The process is quite gross, though. You probably don't want to watch me doing it.
Oh, there goes that plan.
Quite unsightly.
To be fair, dear, I'd rather still go by myself anyway.
If anyone's seen the cover of an Animorphs books, it's basically that.
Noted.
I will keep your suggestion in mind, dear Clara. But as I said, I usually tend to like to sneak in by myself anyway. Provided you guys may be able to cause a distraction, perhaps. Though, I'd rather get more information first before going into the palace. We don't really have very much, and I would rather be well prepared So this is on the fact we have a lot of speculation, but not exactly a foundation to keep our feet on.
Okay.
I think that's Korax's thing, yeah.
So why are we planning on sneaking into the palace again?
Just call it Plan B. Because we still need to find that stone deer. We know it's here somewhere, but we need to know where exactly. And not only that, but I'm pretty sure we have suspicions about what this festival is, especially based off of what dear Clora has said. I need some better foundation on maybe some of the things that she was told by dear Cricket. Because I don't remember any of this conversation. I only know a couple of feelings I have. But I would rather get some clarity a little bit more. No offense, dear Clora, not that I don't believe you completely, but a lot of you, what you said, can be seen a little bit sketchy.
It's understandable. She says as she rubs her head. Though, technically speaking, it wasn't this cricket that told us, but one from a different timeline. And he did say he doesn't interact that much because he might break the world or something, and that world was kind of already hosed.
Maybe we should get back on topic.
I mean, to be fair, dear, it is sort of part of the topic on account that something is going to happen. We know that much. So far, we have speculation that it's probably assassination of the king. But the thing is, though, is that why exactly would they just kill the king? Unless the king knows something. So I'd rather know what the king knows, if that makes sense.
What if they've replaced the king?
There's a thought.
Wouldn't assassinating the king cause the kind of discourse, or the kind of discourse among the high elves? The drow would that would help the drow in their invasion.
Or
Well,
if you said something about replacing the king,
I could probably confirm whether
the
or not
king would then the king would have access to the egg then.
That
then they
is
could
true.
just set up the barrier immediately.
That's true, and that is why Plan B, going to the palace, will be last resort. Because if we at least know that the king, based off what this festival is about, does know where the source is. So if anything, I can sneak in, gather information to where the source is located and how to get it, so we can make
Technically
sure.
speaking, we already. Technically speaking, we already know where it is.
We just don't know how to get to it.
Right?
The
And
problem.
that's.
I
Sorry.
just want to quickly mention that you're interrupting people quite a bit here. Just slow down a little bit and let people have a chance to speak as well.
Okay.
Thank you. Continue.
So yeah, you have a point, dear. But as Takeda said, we need to know exactly where it is, and perhaps maybe get it before the king does. And the only way to get it is, well, the king only knows how to get it. So if we know what the king knows, we have a better foundation.
And you expect the king to just tell us?
I don't.
It's not.
He probably won't. But I think Korax might know a thing or two if the king was keeping secrets or not. Maybe some rumors.
Would I know anything about that, DM?
What are you trying to determine exactly?
Is the kid in?
Let me ask a question on top of that, if you don't mind, Korax.
Yeah, because I don't know what I honestly don't quite know what I'm looking for either.
Yeah, because we still don't quite know. Do you trust the king?
I must admit, I don't know him very well.
Oh.
He's always seemed like a fair king, heavily racist against other races, but otherwise a pretty decent king.
He's a standard elf king, a very firm believer in elf superiority. But wants what he thinks is best for elves.
Really now.
So
She taps her chin and says, "So you know at least a
so he
little bit
prob-
of his mannerisms?"
Do I, DM?
I mean, you've talked to him for like maybe 5 minutes, but you've seen his public appearances on occasion.
Wait a minute, Jezebel. Are you suggesting what I think you're suggesting?
I'm just saying that maybe on the off chance that he probably has been replaced, that maybe you might
Okay,
be
so you're
able
not,
to.
okay, so you're not suggesting I impersonate the king, okay?
I mean, you can also say that to later as well. I mean, you were remarking you did a fabulous job disguising yourself when you were back in the Drow City, if I recall.
Well, thank you. But still, getting close to him, well, there's a problem with that. I doubt he'll want to talk to me. You may have
Any,
with my family.
True.
yeah, or any one of us for that matter.
Very true. But I do admit I like the idea. I will say, out of character, that sounds like a fun idea. Yeah, of course, that'd be the king. Sorry. In character, Jezebel kind of taps. She goes, "That is a thought, though. If we
Yeah,
have
out of
to, if
character.
we find the
Oh yeah,
location
you
exactly."
do that out of character.
Oosh. But yeah, we need
So yeah,
more information and we need more intel.
Yeah, well, again, I doubt he'll want to talk to us, but if we're able to tail him, perhaps.
all right. Then how about we do a little bit of research tomorrow? I mean, we are a bit on a supposed time limit because the festival is in about 2 days,
Yeah.
but we can at least use all day tomorrow to gather information, the things that we need, and go from there.
Right now, my plan is to be as close to the king as possible. And throw up some kind of smoke screen if anything weird happens.
So
Since we have some.
you guys have spent nearly you guys are going in circles again. What would you like to do now? You've already discussed the plan. You guys are like I just want to push you guys along a bit. You guys have the plan more or less already discussed. What do you guys want to do currently?
What time is it? Like, time of day wise?
It's about afternoonish, I believe.
Okay. I will write you what I'm doing.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm gonna go out and see if I can't find myself a palace guard uniform of some kind, and maybe find a way to sneak into the palace at least.
Okay, and what is everyone else doing?
That is a good question. We've already went to the library.
I'm going to sleep.
It's the afternoon.
It's the afternoon though.
Oh. Apparently I eventually had the time wrong. Redact that.
I'm gonna go find the oh, my bad, my computer fell asleep. One sec. There we go. I'm gonna go find the outskirts of the city to find the apparent location of where the shoes have been relocated.
All right. So while you go shoe shopping, Cicada, what are you doing?
Jezebel, would you like some company?
Oh, with you, dear, anytime.
Okay.
Well, that kind of throws a wrench in things because we did this in ahead of time, remember?
Oh, that's right. That's right. Well, because all Jezebel will be doing is walking around the town to try to gather information.
Just copy and paste the chat that the roleplay in this for Becca.
Well, how about I just I mean I'll do it with Becca, I guess, but hold on.
I'd rather you
let me redact that.
Guys, let me finish. I'd rather you summarize it in character for the rest, but if
Yeah,
Becca's going along, she would hear the entire conversation. So just copy and paste
that's
the
true.
roleplay to her.
I will, but instead, I'll wait until it actually turns to night for that, and then I'll summarize it. But for now, I'm gonna have Jezebel perhaps just scout the palace, just like
Okay.
walk around it like a casual person, just kind of see the structure and everything like that, for in case she does have to sneak in.
All right. And with that, Clara, what are you doing?
Clara doesn't know what to do. Hey guys, what should I do?
Well, actually, maybe I should stick with Clara for a bit. Just try to get a lay of the town for a bit and try to figure out if there are any rumors about the royal family
You guys
of
already did
elves.
that.
Hmm.
You know what? I'll come back to Clara. All right. Corex, how are you going to get your hands on a guard's uniform? What is your plan there?
Short and short. Well, first thing I'm gonna do is try my luck at the nearest guard station.
You head over to the guard station, and it's heavily guarded, naturally.
Yeah, just find myself a get myself to up to sort of a barracks, and well,
You're
just
stopped before the barracks, and they say, "Halt! Civilians aren't allowed in the barracks."
oh, of course, my bad. It's my bad. And I leave like hmm. Okay, time to hitman my way through this again. And 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 where and is there any way from my a you know what, I tried the Drow City. I don't think it's going to work here. Okay, I'm just going to wander around, getting a good look at every detail of the guardsman's clothes.
Standard, standard armor and gear with the insignia that marks them as a guard, blazoned on the front. Some are wearing leather, some are wearing, chainmail. Basically, the sort of
Yeah,
gear you guys started with as adventurers.
yeah. Yeah, all right. Keeping it in mind, and I'm next gonna scout out the palace. Now, I know a secret entrance in and out, wouldn't I?
So, I just want to clarify something. When I say afternoon, I mean mid to late afternoon. Like, it's still bright out, but the sun is starting to set.
Yeah, like, I'm not gonna try and use it or anything. I just want to see if I could, I'm just gonna visit whatever normal discreet way in I might know, and like if I know any discreet ways in, I might just like
Into the
give them a
guard
look
tower or the
into the
road?
palace.
Well, yeah, you know the old way in that you used to investigate your father's uh
Okay,
investigate your home when your father was air quotes murdered.
okay, I'm gonna give it a quick check. Does it still seem secure?
Um, the entrance is more of a little old shack that's next to a building, and it looks as the same as you left it.
Okay, that. All right, there's that at least.
All right, Rhea, you were doing something as well.
That's it. I guess it would. I guess anything I was planning to do would involve Cicada. So
Well,
Okay.
Cicada's not doing anything.
Yeah, I'm really not doing anything at the moment, so
are we still? Are we? Is everyone? Are we like in the preparation phase?
yeah,
Is
we're
like
still in prep phase. It's evening.
all right.
As I said, if the sun is setting, it's nearish bedtime. Chlora's gonna go to sleep because she has a migraine. After trying too hard to get certain
Yes,
information.
I get it, Cora. So what are you doing,
Okay.
Rhea?
Okay, so if Cicada's not doing anything, he's going to. Cicada, can I talk to you?
Oh, she seems a little bit distracted until you call to her. Yes?
I I noticed you've been distant from Korax and I since last night. Are you okay?
She looks down at this for a while before she finally replies, I'm not sure anymore.
Cicada,
Ryu?
whatever it is, whatever her cricket may have had made you say or do that night wasn't your fault.
But I'm still affiliated with him.
That that doesn't matter. I just we I don't believe in I don't believe in guilty by association. I believe in guilty by action. And you haven't done anything to hurt any of us. Well, not willingly, or even when you were even under his control. Oh, you've never tried to hurt us per se. All that all that happened, all that ever happened between us with us when while you were under his control was well last night, and that was his words, not yours.
Well, I don't know what he said, but it clearly made the both of you very upset.
I don't know. I don't know if I should tell you what he said to us in good faith, or if I should or if I should keep it hush hush, since well, it's the kind of thing it's the kind of thing it was the kind of things that would make you feel that you that would make you feel unforgivable. That would feel were unforgivable if you actually said them intentionally.
The way you were talking about it, I already I already feel like this is I don't even know anymore.
We're
I want to
I get it.
believe that the two of you are my friends, but
Have
I'm
we
just
ever
not sure.
have we ever done anything? Have we ever said or done anything to make you believe we weren't your friends?
Hmm.
We both and Korax would agree with me on this. He understands completely that you're not at fault for anything.
I just. I don't know what to say about any of this.
I get it. We're all confused. That's why I'm trying. Why I'm trying to. That's why I want to. I want to. I want to. Uh, piece everything together as best I can before it's too late. And to do that, I believe I need to reach an understanding with Cricket.
We both do. Do you want me to summon him?
I'm not sure we should do it within the city. We may cause a panic.
Okay. I do want to talk to him for a bit as well.
That's fine. Are you ready to go?
Yeah.
All right.
You both done or?
Yeah, we're both gonna head outside of the city for now.
All right. What are you doing?
Yeah, we're gonna try. I'm going to try and call forth Cricket for a talk.
All right. It takes him a moment, but he does appear in his full form. You know.
Yeah.
The Oracle one.
If you want to talk to him first, you can.
Cricket.
Yes.
This is hard for me to talk about, but why have you always had such an interest in me?
Because you were the first one to say yes.
I get that, but when you were still Atropus, you were doing some questionable things. For a while, you've kind of driven me away from people. I'm not sure if this was because of the pact we made, or I don't even remember what the pact was about.
Would you like to remember?
I would.
Then tonight you shall dream of it.
Tonight?
He nods. To best receive the information in a way that will stress your mind less, it would be best to do it in a dream format. I will ensure you will remember the dream. You may, I will guarantee that.
Okay. I want I want to continue trusting you, but it's getting harder to do that. Because all this time I barely understand you, what your motives are.
This was never. Sorry, I'm just choosing the words. I do not understand. This was never about if you trust me or not. It was never about that with any of you. The matter of trust does not factor into the equation. It is appreciated, yes, but it is not required.
What about understanding?
Sorry, I'm just trying to think of the word. Understanding is dangerous for an entity such as me. Those who peek behind the curtain often go insane.
Well, I guess I guess I want to be the one to try to peek behind the curtain.
Ryu, you just said that was dangerous.
We have to be we don't have we only have we have 2 days. We have 2 days left. We don't have time to hesitate. If we're going to win this, we need we need his help.
Then you have reconsidered my proposal to form a pact.
That depends. I still have questions.
You may request that with your pact, if you wish.
Make me a promise.
You see, Cricket sort of tilts his head briefly and then says, I promise the pact will allow you to make your own conditions.
No, I'm not. I don't mean as part of the pact. I mean a promise from one person to another.
He's silent for a bit, and then he says, I cannot make such a deal, but it is not for the reasons you think. If I were to make a promise, that would cause a pact to form. Because our promise is a form of pact.
I see.
But I can assure you, but if you request something, then I can assure you of it. It will be similar, but not to the strength of a promise. You haven't exactly told me what you wanted me to promise.
Ryu, who takes off his amulet. You, if as I understand it, if we fail this, the world ends and everyone on this planet dies. My grandfather will be the sole survivor before the end.
One of the sole survivors before the end, yes.
In that case, Ryu holds the amulet up in front of Cricket. If we fail this, I want you to take it to my grandfather. along with a message that I'm sorry. I'm sorry that no, I'm sorry I'm not there to welcome him back.
Cricket looks to the amulet for a moment, and then his hands cup around it, and you watch as a second amulet slowly lifts out of it, which Cricket then takes. I will do so.
Thank you. Now, I'm reluctant to call it a pact per se, but I still there's still just so much I want to know.
It is recommended to take a day to think over your conditions before you make any sort of pact. You have time.
We don't. Cricket, we're up against your brother, aren't we?
In a sense, yes.
Which means you're helping us. You're helping us at the cost of fighting your own kin.
That is one way of putting it, yes.
Why?
He believes in the whole. I believe in the all.
Oh,
If you wish to know more information, you will have to request it in the pact. As I said, understanding us is a dangerous thing.
all right. I but I need to know. Will I be susceptible to the Drow's mind? Will if I go through with this, will the Drow be able to control me as they controlled Cicada and Jezebel back in the Underdark?
They will not.
Good. I it we need that free will for what we're up against.
I am limited in my power over this realm, and part of that limit is I can only influence one person at a time. And Jezebel has made it clear that if the influence is to take place, that she is the one who will be chosen.
If she were to be taken control of in that way again, would there be a way to pacify her before she does anything to the enemy's advantage?
Oh, the song. The one Clara knows. That might be able to pacify them.
That would work, yes. It would cancel out the other song.
Then we have a failsafe behind. We have a failsafe in all this.
Further information will require the pact. Is there anything else you wish to ask me?
You should probably sleep on this for now.
I guess the last question I could think of is, what is it that you want?
That will require the pact.
All right then. Cricket, I want you to tell me everything.
That is a dangerous request for a pact.
We Kitsune are ready to stop at nothing to do whatever it takes to protect those dear to us.
Ryu, maybe we should sleep on this for a bit.
For
I wouldn't want to
everything.
see you get hurt.
Everything would require a great deal in exchange. I shall take some time and determine what the relevant exchange shall be. what you will do in return for this everything. Cricket then gives a brief bow of his head, sort of a nod, more of a nod really, but then he just vanishes.
He should be a bit more concise rather than just everything.
He did say he was going to sort through everything relevant to what we're doing.
Hmm.
So
I mean,
it won't necessarily be everything, just everything he believes we need to know to stop all this.
all right. But we should still get back to the others and rest for the night to think it over.
Sounds good. I need time. I need time to meditate, focus, steel my senses.
Right. Well,
What
I'm gonna go find Charlotte and see what she's doing.
All right.
Just be careful, okay?
If it, I just wish, I just wish, and I just wish I were ready. But to be honest, even if I had all 9 tails, well, this may be hard. And I only have 5.
Want to lose you too. Or anyone for that matter.
You won't. For Cicada, I promise.
I only hope you keep to that.
We'll figure this out, Cicada. We have to. For everyone's sake.
Okay.
As you both are outside the city, you see a large bit of land fly over and then land just outside the city. And then you see Charlotte walk towards it with 3 large barrels on a wagon behind them.
Alright, I'm gonna go see what she's doing.
Sure.
Um,
I'm sure. I'm. I'm going to look into. I'm going. It's time for me. It's time for me to study the old ways of my kind.
okay. We'll meet back at the inn later, okay?
All right.
And Cicada's gonna go flying over to where Charlotte is.
We Kitsune served the gods. We. It's, surely my bot. Whatever it is. Whatever cricket. Whatever. Cricket. Whatever. The cost will be. My body can handle it. My mind can handle it. But. Can I?
It's a question we'll have to get to in at another point
Mm.
in this session, probably. Meanwhile,
And
what's Charlotte doing?
she's at her workshop. Um, the barrels are inside as well, but otherwise she's just busy making something.
Cicada's gonna peek through a gap, see what she's working on.
Uh,
He's not being entirely sneaky about it.
Okay. Sorry, I'm reading some of the rules. I'm doing some weird shit right now.
Yeah, Nick is basically making my job 10 times harder.
Legitly, I am making her life hell.
Oh no.
I'm doing
So,
the
you
best
see her-
I'm doing the best I can while actively DMing, okay?
Yeah.
Bad boyfriend.
Fair.
Shame on you.
So, yeah, she is currently working on a gun of some kind. That's all you can really tell with all the material she has gathered.
A gun? Oh boy. Oh jeez.
It looks really big. Bigger
Big-
than her.
Uh, she
Go ahead.
Cicada knocks on the door.
Come in.
If she comes in. Hi.
What's going on, Cicada?
Uh, well, Ryu is considering making a pact
Yeah?
after talking with Cricket.
Bit surprising. I didn't really expect that.
Me
Then
neither.
again, I can never read people well. Never had a knack for it.
But, what are you working on?
Project.
Is that a gun?
No.
Uh, what is it exactly?
Insurance?
Insurance?
Yeah, insurance.
What's
Right,
it meant?
she calls out
Sorry.
deeper in the workshop.
Yes, I was having a nap.
I know, but I need production on the extra stuff too. It's written on the note
Fine.
for you. Thank you.
Fine. She sounds really grumpy, but I'm biting you later.
You can take it
She
as a
leaves.
payment if you want.
Yes, that's what I mean. I'm biting you later.
I'm sorry, Cicada.
I will never get used to vampires.
It's a backup plan. That's also an insurance, technically, if you look at it that way.
Uh, well, anyways, we were just gonna head back to the inn after a while. After a bit. Once night falls, anyway.
Alrighty.
Okay.
So-
I will
Go on,
I'll
sorry.
send you a Cicada, before Jezebel leaves, I probably won't be able to meet her. I'm gonna be stuck doing this for probably 2 days. I will need you to deliver something for me for her.
Oh,
Yeah, and if she does do the sneaking job, tell her that I'll make her a cloak. Actually,
okay.
yeah, but you'll have to pick it up tomorrow. And that's after I pause from this.
Okay, I'll make sure she gets the message.
Okay, I'll be in my workshop.
Alright. See you later. And she heads back to the inn.
Take care. Okay.
So
And she gets on to work.
So now that everyone's done their thing, Neku, what materials, raw materials, do you have? Do you have the metal? Do you have the magic residue?
I do have that. And I have 2 metal, which I'll just take one of my Let me see if I can make the rest of it metal.
So
I also got my old rifle.
if you wanted to get the metal, I'd say let me just quickly pull up something really quick.
Yeah.
I'd say to get the 3 metal you need. Let's see. I'd say you could probably get the 3 metal for 15 GP.
15? I still have the bag of slime. Can I not convert my other items I don't use into metal?
You can, but it takes time.
We are especially. Okay. Oh, damn, this is rough.
Like, you can convert them, it's just, it's going to take time for them to convert into raw ingots.
How long? I forgot how long it takes.
I believe it's a day per item.
Per item? Ooh, okay. That's possible. Okay. I'll have to go and find some gold then. Well, Charlotte would eventually head back to the inn after tasking Raichi with the basic work.
If you
Throw
don't
it
mind
on
me
your
asking out
friend.
of character, didn't you get gold from the vampire raid?
Yeah, I used it all.
Okay.
All of it.
Ugh.
That's probably why she said 15 gold, just to spite me, even.
No, I
Broken
literally
bud.
looked up a short sword, and I calculated the short sword would probably use 2 metal ingots, so that would mean 3 metal ingots would be 15 gold.
It was a joke, I know.
Sorry.
I gotcha. So yeah, she's going back to the inn room.
Just remember to keep track of, like, the time that you're spending.
I gotcha. I know. I'm really counting on. So we're still in the first day, and it's late afternoon, right? Probably nighttime by now.
It's basically around dusk by this point.
Okay.
So the light is starting to fade and people are starting to head back to their rooms and all that.
Okay.
Also
Charlotte
keep
knock
in
on the
mind,
door.
sorry. Also keep in mind, if you don't sleep, you will get a point of exhaustion.
I gotcha.
Alright, that's all. With that,
Okay.
everyone is free to head back to the inn.
Well, when Cicada gets back to her and sees Korak, she only takes one cursory glance over to her before just silently going to bed.
I'm guessing Jezebel is in the hallway, so Charlotte's gonna walk up and stop him.
Yeah, she just walks up as she gets aside. She goes, well, guess we'll see about looking at the palace tomorrow. Oh, hello, dear.
Hi, Jezebel. I'm gonna working with you on the palace bit. Come by to my workshop in the morning if you can. I'll try and get it a item that might help you do sneaking better.
Oh, working on a new toy, are you?
This one's a known project. I'm working on something else. Speaking of, I request if I can for my service. I would request 5 gold. Charlotte just like looks up to Jezebel at that.
I'm sorry, how much?
5 gold pieces.
She gives a bit of a small teeny smirk, puts a hand on her hip, and gives her a look that and says, "Can I say why it is I'm spending my gold, or can I know what it is I'm spending my gold on?" Then
The gold I'm gaining is for the service of my hard work, is it not?
I like to know when I'm commissioned, so.
The commission is not for you.
But I thought
On
you
this
said it's supposed
project,
to
anyway.
help me.
The cape is, but not the other thing.
And is this 5 gold for that other thing?
Yes.
Then can I not know what it is? Because it's my gold.
Charlotte speaks low to Jezebel about what it is.
Was that dear? She leans in very close to her face with a smirk, a big old toothy smirk.
I messaged you because I don't want it to be public knowledge yet.
Oh. Jezebel's eyes widen a little bit, and she leans back. She goes, not to say I'm quite aware of something like that before. But knowing you, dear, I'm pretty sure it's very explosive, no?
Maybe. I want to see how it works.
She gives a bit of a amused huff and then takes out 5 gold and puts it in her hand. And she goes, very well then, here you are. But if I'm not satisfied with the way it turns out, I want it back. Deal?
That's fair. I already spent over 750 damn gold on this project. I hope it works. But deal.
All right then.
Now, I will mention this, Neku.
Yeah.
Just because I know how much you like RNG, you're going to need to do another Tinker Tool check to make the item you're working on. And if you roll a natural 1, it will explode.
That's so much money wasted.
So
Again, only
the...
the specific item. As long as you don't keep the kegs right next to it, it should be fine.
Oh no!
I mean,
Oh, no!
who says it has to be? Who says it has to be Charlotte's fault? Maybe.
I mean, at this point, I would actually die if it was nearby those. Oh my god. Okay, I will roll later.
Do it.
I have to get the materials first.
Do it.
Do it.
Fucking hate people.
Well, if you know roll now, then you know whether or not you're doomed.
True.
I'm not doomed, thank
Yay,
God.
see?
I rolled
Yeah.
a 1 in 20 chance on dying.
Yeah, you're fine. You make it. No issues.
Yay.
Oh god. What roll was that? I have like plus 12 on that. Oh, that was a 4.
Yeah, that was just a 4.
Yeah.
Ooh. I mean, it's not on that one.
Yeah, true. Alright. So, yeah, I'm gonna be making a lot of stuff. I'm actually not gonna sleep the first day, by the way.
Really?
Yep.
Alrighty. Mark down that point of exhaustion.
Alrighty.
So, Cicada, you wanted to do something?
Yeah, with Korax real quick. Hey Korax. I'm not sure if she would say anything.
Wedwood?
In yes.
Here.
Do you not hear me?
She hands you a big bag of gold. It's 300
Oh.
gold pieces.
Thank you.
It was for earlier. You bought something for me that was rather expensive. And I still owed you for that.
Remind me, what was this?
It was a while ago. I don't quite remember what it was. But I had the IOU say for 300 gold pieces for Korax.
I think it was the bag of holding.
Yeah, the bag of holding.
Oh yes. Like tosses it up and down in her hands. You didn't need to. You don't
No,
need to.
I insist.
Okay.
Take
Are you all right?
uh there's a lot going on, okay? And
That we were agreed.
Eh, I just want to try and make it up to you, at least a little bit.
Make it up for what? For Atropus?
Mhm.
That's Atropus' fault, not yours.
Mm. Still, I still feel partially responsible for him.
And so, sounds to me that he just took advantage of you when you were lonely.
I think there's more to it than that. But I'll figure that out tomorrow.
No, good. Yeah, good thinking. And don't think about any heavy, depressing stuff when it's late. It'll just make you feel worse.
Right. Well, that's all I wanted to get off my chest. Good night.
Good night.
All right. So, is everyone heading to bed then? Except for one.
Yeah.
I shall not sleep.
Yes,
I
and
shall not
I
sleep.
I can't wait for you to tell them what you're doing.
Oh, it's gonna be
I've been
an
trying to
awesome
keep it. I've
plan.
been trying to keep it quiet myself, so I'm pretty excited.
I
Anyway.
have plans.
Boy.
Anyway,
I have plans.
anyway, we have something to do tonight. Cicada, as you are drifting off to sleep, you begin to dream. You are no longer Cicada. Well, you are, but you're not. You're not yourself, but yourself from a much younger time. And you also look a little different. Naturally because of the demon thing, but also like certain feathers are differently patterned, and you're much younger, much younger. If you had to
Baby
guess,
cicada.
you're maybe 2 years old. Kanku do age quickly, so yeah, about 2 years old.
Yeah. Baby cicada, yeah.
You're wandering around a village filled with people. Mostly Kanku, but there are a couple of other races, like there's Mr. Grumpy, who's the resident elf that runs the library. There's Miss Growly, who organizes the local guards to keep an eye out for predators and the stray goblin attack. Life is more or less peaceful. Your parents call you home and you head home and have a lovely meal with them. And then you hear them. They briefly leave the table as all the lights in the house go out. Like all the candles and everything just suddenly. They go to light the candles, and the father glances outside and his eyes widen in shock, and then they fill with fear. You don't really recognize it as fear as a child, but your mind recognizes it. Your mind registers it as fear, even as your mind doesn't comprehend that's what he's feeling. He speaks quick, he shouts to your mother, and she picks you up in her arms and buries your face in her chest. Then you're all running. You can't see what's happening, but you hear strange sounds, screams and cries of fear, shouts and blood-curdling screams that rattle you. You begin to shake, but you don't really understand why. You haven't really felt fear before, so when the scream of the banshee shakes you, you don't really understand what it is you're feeling. Your family trips and falls, and you fly out of your mother's arms and begin to roll down a hill. She calls out for you, and then you see them get sliced in two as a creature noticed them calling out and killed them. You're slow at first, a little dazed from the fall, and you're still rolling. You roll and roll and roll, and then there's nothing below you but air. You flap your arms a little bit, trying to fly, trying to get back to your parents, not really understanding that they're dead. You don't really understand what happened. Why were they in two pieces? Are they okay? You're so very, very young. And then you land. The pain, you don't really understand it, but you begin to cry. Everything hurts. There's a blood-red moon in the sky. Oh, wait, sorry, not the blood-red moon. There's darkness in the sky, not even stars or anything, and a red haze surrounds the planet as you see ghostly wails and screams. And you can see creatures starting to climb down the hole you fell in towards you. You continue to cry and wail, calling out, "It hurts. Where are my parents? I'm scared." And no one ever answers you. Cry and cry and cry. And then the creatures all seem to stop. And you feel the land below you once more cave in. But this time it's more gradual. And you're brought down as the ground closes up above you. You slide down and find yourself in a chamber with a wall depicting a feathered serpent. A voice echoes out. "I can make the pain go away. I can give you a new life. I can protect you. What is it you want?" You continue to cry and cry. And then you're just so young. You can't even really speak anymore. But your body answers for you. And you feel the wordless pact forming. You want to feel safe. To never feel pain again. To never be hurt. Always be protected. Always be safe. You feel the pain flow away as reality tears apart in front of you. The earth wraps around you, and the next thing you know, awaken in a field. No one around, nothing to see. There's food and provisions. And the voice. The voice that gently guides you, feeds you, clothes you, protects you. As you begin your new journey. You wake up.
That's a lot to take in.
Everyone else is still asleep at the moment, except for except for Charlotte, who didn't rejoin you at the end. And you also notice that Jezebel hasn't returned just yet. Though she does
I imagine.
return while you're sitting there and going over everything you've just learned. Jezebel, you walk back in after your little journey, and Cicada is awake, but everyone else is asleep.
Yeah. Jezebel tries to walk in quietly, and you can see she's actually in her clothes, her usual clothes. As she walks in, her hood's up. She pulls it down and gives a bit of a sigh, looking thoughtful, but then raises her head and notices you're awake. And she goes, Cicada? Why are you still awake, dear?
I just woke up.
A little late to be up this early. I should know. She just casually walks over to her and then puts her hand up her head. She goes, Are you all right?
Think I remember. My
Oh.
first meeting with Cricket.
Do you now?
Hmm.
I think you asked, didn't you?
Yeah, I did.
And she gives a bit of a tender and compassionate look for once, and she goes, Did you find the answers you were looking for?
I think so. It's still a lot to take in, though. I need a moment.
Of course. Pretty sure it's quite a bit. But, and I know you're probably not the best thing that I say, are you okay?
Once I get some breakfast, I think I'll be okay.
All right, well. She softly just scratches her head affectionately. She goes, I'm here if you need me, dear.
Okay. I'll try to talk about it later. It was a lot.
Yes, well, she gives a shrug with a troubled smile. She goes, I have a couple of things I need to tell everybody as well. I'm not entirely sure these in relation to your information, so to speak, but it is relevant to our current situation, and it's kind of important.
So, are you
So,
going to
for
wake everyone up, or are you going to just wait for the morning?
Oh no, I'm gonna wake everybody up.
Alright.
So she's gonna stand up and then shrugs off her cloak to put it away. She goes, "Go ahead and grab something there and come back up here. I'm gonna try to have everybody come into the room because this is something that cannot wait.
So,
But it's best you get food into your belly since you're so troubled."
just for context for everyone else, it's been 2 to 3-ish hours since you all went to bed. So it's maybe say 6, 7, 8, yeah, about 9 p.m.
Oh, okay, never mind.
But you are able to get some leftovers from the kitchen, the tavern owner, fishes some out for you, Cicada, so you can have a bite to eat.
A late night snack before going back to bed.
I'm assuming someone goes to get Charlotte, yes?
Should I wait for the morning then? Because everybody's still partially asleep.
That's why I asked. Are you waiting for morning, or are you going to wake everyone up.
I'll wait until sunrise to make sure everybody gets their rest. Or
Yeah.
some anyway, besides Charlotte, I guess.
All right. Then, with that case, you can also get a long rest in. And as for you, Cicada, do you go back to sleep?
Yeah, I go back to sleep.
All right. Then, morning comes. Neku, you finish most of your crafts. There's still a couple things left to craft because I'm not doing the math. You do the math, but you know what I mean. Most of it is crafted. And
It
with
takes
that,
9 hours for everything.
yeah.
But yes.
Okay, fine. It's all crafted. Are you happy now?
Yes! I'm done! Phase 2 will come shortly.
You all head into the tavern. And wow, that still has your roll up on.
Wow, Elnath is here too. Weird.
Let me just update the Flora icon as well.
And Cicada's
Uh-huh.
icon needs to be updated.
Uh-huh.
Corax's icon old as well.
Yep.
Yep.
That's how long
Really
it's been
awkward.
since you guys have sat in a tavern.
Weird.
There we go. I think that's everyone. Yeah. Tavern is going to be a little emptier than this, so I'll just delete those and bam, there we go. The only person in the bar other than you is the tavern keeper and some early morning drunk who is already drinking the heavy stuff.
And probably passing out.
So what's this going on?
Clarion goes, "Good morning."
Good morning.
My head feels so much better.
Isabel kind of stretches, looking up slightly sleepy, but we're awake one at a time. But she does seem a little distracted as she goes, okay, I think I need some coffee before I decide to tell everybody what I found out.
Is it that bad?
Yes. She kind of states plainly and then goes over to the bar and requests for a coffee.
The tavern keeper looks to you and then she says, "See, this is what a normal person does, Clyde." Look, and the man goes, "Look, shut up. My wife left me last week. Can you at least be a little more considerate?" And she says, "I'll be more considerate when you stop drinking your kids out of their college." And the two continue to bicker as you're given your coffee.
I'm getting an awesome deja vu about this Clyde story. Like, I feel like we heard this somewhere before. A long time ago.
Elnath. Elnath.
Jezebel tries not to look too irritated as she just wants her coffee, especially after what all she found out and the fact she was kind of out a little later than she would have liked and didn't go to bed. But when she gets her coffee, she nods, pays, and then goes over to the group and she says, all right, y'all, I got some important information to tell you, especially you, dear Corax. I'm not sure how you'll react to what I'm about to tell you. Come up to the room when you guys are ready. And then she stomps up to the stairs to go back to the rooms.
Oh, so we went down from our rooms to go into the tavern. Now we're going up our rooms. Very
Oh, we're
productive.
having breakfast.
No, I don't need breakfast right now. Charlotte mutters, heads upstairs. She's very grumpy now.
Like, did you sleep at all?
Now I'm bored.
Sleep is important. Oh my gosh. Charlotte.
Mind blown.
Hot take, I don't care.
At least eat something.
She grabs one biscuit.
Eh,
Just one.
Clara puts another one in her hand.
Charlotte puts it back onto Clara's hand and then walks up.
she's, she's gonna work herself to death at this rate.
Clara comes to the conclusion that this is probably fairly important, so she eats quickly before heading upstairs.
Yeah.
Well, there's a tavern scene. It was nice while it lasted.
Oof.
I mean, you guys can still do it. It's just Jezebel has to stay upstairs. Jeez.
Man, it's been so long since we've been in a tavern. Been in a tavern for less than 5 minutes. Okay, we're done. Let's go back upstairs.
Man,
It was nice. It was
Man.
nice while it lasted.
that poor tavern, man. You guys are hurting its feelings.
That map felt
Jezebel's
something.
grumpy, okay?
It's
I'm being in
fine.
character. Jeez.
Anyway, you guys all head back to the room.
Oh wow, the inn room. We've been using this map a lot. It's very nice. Unlike the
In
dumb
any
tavern
case-
room.
Guys, come on, let's get back to serious mode now.
Okay.
Alright, well, Jezebel's kind of sitting in the stool, slowly drinking her coffee, straight black, as she just waits for everybody, and she lightly rubs her eyes with a yawn.
Charlotte first to walk in, as she is currently eating one biscuit, but she's opening her mouth really wide as she sees the rabbit tooth, and then she just munches on it.
Nom, 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 nom. Didn't mean to interrupt breakfast, dears, but I found out some information from the temporary new location of the shoe store outside the city outskirts.
And
Wait. You want to rephrase that? Charlotte just mumbles. Outside the city outskirts. So is it outside the city then?
It wasn't too far, to be fair, and they had a pretty good, I guess you say, illusion of their little shoe peddling area having changed location, but they are within a safe distance. I'll give that much.
Come on.
It's basically
And
about 5 to 10 minutes outside the city.
Crazy.
And it's for good reason. She said, takes another sip of her coffee. I had a feeling there was a reason why they relocated, so to speak. Turns out, not everything's not as it actually seems here, including the king.
was I right?
Mm,
Yes, actually. The king is actually dead.
mm.
Has been
What?
dead for a long time.
How
Actually.
long?
She glances to Korax. Remember the body?
That was his, wasn't it?
She glances to Clara, gives a small smirk, and then drinks her coffee. And takes another sip of her coffee.
So that body that we saw hanging over to the town, that was the king disguised as Korax's father?
Yep.
Oh my god.
Apparently it was a coup. Killed the king, replaced him with somebody else, tried to apparently frame dear Korax's family and father. Turns out that body the whole time was actually the king.
Okay. Pretty elaborate. I'm gonna ask this with my sleepy state, but Charlotte just simply yawns. Who did it then? That's the important question. If the drow is impersonating a king, was it also safe to assume that the drow did it? And if that's the case, can we also assume that that they're the one who killed him in the first place. So the whole explosion thing about a tiefling entering and leaving it with a description of boss is not even related.
The only thing they told me though was that the advisor, that they were apparently an advisor.
The one that killed the king was an advisor?
Oh wait, Ninja, I think I gave you the wrong name. 1 second.
I'm about to say, I think you might have, yeah.
That was the Drow advisor. Too many names. Okay.
Too many advisors. They're advising too much.
We need more advice.
No, it's not that one. I know I wrote it down. It's just I've got so many notes. Vienna. Okay, so the transmutation. Mr. Fluffy. Got those stones. No, I do think it was that actually. I found it. I found it. Various. I knew I'd marked it somewhere. There you go, Ninja. That's the name.
No way, it was him the whole time.
Sorry about that. Continue.
Okay. So he gave me the name then, right? So I can say the name?
Yes, he gave you the name.
Okay. All right. Oh lordy, I'm gonna botch the how to pronounce this. Okay, let's give it a shot.
Let me give you some. Let me give you
a
a hint.
Okay. Okay, syllable by syllable. Okay, thanks a lot.
There you go.
They're not gonna let me fail or succeed on my own. Thank you. All right, let's do it. Just a glance over to everybody, including Korak, and she says apparently it's an advisor by the name Fivrinolina. Whoever they are apparently a very powerful mage and have been in league with the Drow this entire time. She then looks to
Could be that
Korax. Does this name mean anything to you, dear?
Oh yeah, you're muted.
I didn't realize I was muted. Could you, okay, say again? I didn't quite catch it the first time.
Apparently, summarize a coup, led by apparently
the name
by an advisor by the name of Fivrinolina.
Every okay.
So, the fork that that Korax was eating with just sort of warps in her hands as she's suddenly crushing it.
Jezebel looks at the fork, then up to Korax, and she goes, I see this means something to you.
Mm-hmm. All right, new plan. We're going to sneak into the palace today. I'm going to get close. I'm going to get close to the and we're going to force the false king to confess to the entire court.
Oh, quite a frontal approach, dear.
Are you sure
how are we gonna
that's
do
the
that?
right idea?
Well, I have a plan.
We're still going to need quite a bit of evidence, as well as a competent lawyer.
Well, that's the thing, dear. It doesn't involve that. Because technically, I'm all for frontal, especially on the
We're
fact
not doing this through proper channels.
Don't let the poppycocks
We're just
hear
going
that.
to mark it and expose him.
Sorry, I just wanted to make a quick joke. Continue, Korax.
We're just
very rash, dear.
And And right now, the Drow's weapon is secrecy. We're going to torpedo that.
So I guess finding the stone and like that is out of the question. Because to be fair, dear, as much as we want to do a frontal thing, uh, the barrier is still an issue we need to also consider. Even if we were to expose them, the false king, so to speak, once the barrier breaks, they could still perform whatever ritual they're trying to do.
Well, all the more reason to do this as soon as possible, so we can beat whatever information out of him.
Well, that's one. They are a powerful mage there. They won't go down without a fight. Are you sure it's wise that we just go act trashy like this? Unless you can
It's
tell
the
something about the person that we don't know.
D DM, is there anything useful here?
Here, where? What?
Anything useful? Anything useful? Do I know anything useful about Fevre that might be some kind of weakness?
He always seemed pretty competent. Like, he was always, like, your father trusted him. Like, he'd been with your father for quite, like, I'd say maybe 30 years, maybe even longer, maybe like 50, 70, something. Like, he's been there for quite a while, is what I'm getting at. And he always
Yep.
seemed competent, professional, and, you know, a typical elite elf.
Well, then let's put it this way. A frontal assault will be the last thing they expect.
Not to doubt your words, dear, but this person seems to be very smart. The fact they're able to make an entire coup without anyone suspecting that the body was actually the king themselves and continue to parade this false act while keeping spirits high for the festival. We're going to need a lot of very incriminating evidence to convince the entirety of this whole city, who I'm pretty sure holds their king in very high regard. You sure you want to do this?
They're not the only one that can change to look like the king. Cora has a smirk on her.
I'm not sure you're. How good are you at deception?
DM,
Yes?
have I seen enough of the king to, would you say I'd seen enough of the king to mimic their mannerisms?
Not really. Like, the only time you've ever seen him was when he was on the job. You have no idea what he's actually like.
That's a problem.
In response to the deception question, she says, "Well, I'm pretty sure dear Charlotte can confirm that I'm good at lying when necessary."
Or, actually, I don't need to. I, ooh, 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 I can. Ooh. No, I have. Oh, I got this.
You have
I
a
don't
better
need to
idea?
mimic king. I'm just going to mimic the imposter.
So, I just want to quickly pause this for a bit because there's one other thing that would have happened during the night. It took a bit because I had to discuss things with Andy a bit. So,
And
Andy,
and so that that
Let
whole
me-
conversation you just had kind of went right through my in one ear and out the other. So
so you have no idea what I was trying to say there.
no, I have no idea what they were talking about because I was so busy. I was busy talking to you.
Well, I'll give you the TLDR in a second, but basically, during your sleep, Cricket approaches you and he says, I have considered your proposal, your desire to know everything. I am able to provide it, But to know everything is a very dangerous thing, and it can overwhelm you. So instead, I propose a minor. Here is what I propose. You can know any information you want, but I recommend you only obtain this information once a day. By doing so, you prevent the stress on your mind and ensure you won't go insane from the information you're going to be obtaining. In return, all I ask is you donate a portion of your magic to me once a day. And I would like to be in discussions when you're talking to your deity. But I am willing to compromise and discuss these requests.
That part about out you being you being in my conversations with Alex, that'll have to be up to him. But I'm sure he has a lot. I'm sure he has a lot of questions for you of his own. So, oh, he might hold you to that.
Willing to discuss it with him?
As for your terms, if it turns out that there's turns out to be if I decide that there's nothing of use you can tell me, I'm free to simply not ask you, right?
Could you repeat that?
If there say that there's never any say that that I never actually want to know anything from you. Is that acceptable?
Yes. You do not have to use the knowledge, but you wanted to be able to know everything. You will be able to learn everything if you wish. It will be your choice in the matter. For example, if you wish to learn about what a creature is, you would be able to obtain that information. But the knowledge of everything is a dangerous thing, which is why I recommend only using it at most once a day.
I understand. To be honest, it's scary. The idea that I can just learn whatever I want on at just a word.
Do you accept these terms?
All right. But I will only use but I will swear as a kitsune that I will only ever use this pact when I have no choice.
He offers you a hand. As long as you hold up your end of the pact, then we have a deal.
Ryu takes Cricket's hand and says, I trust you now, Cricket. Remember that.
I apologize for threatening your grandfather. I was angry.
I'll forgive you if you can apologize to Cicada for making her say it on your behalf. Deal?
Very well. It is done. Cricket, Cicada?
Immediately.
Cicada, you're starting to drift off to sleep, and then suddenly you get jolted awake as Cricket says, "By the way, I am sorry for making you say things on my behalf."
Okay. Apology accepted.
But yeah, it's done in a split second, basically. But yeah, Rio, continue.
So I guess. So I guess. You're. I guess I'm t- I'm tied to you now, forever.
A pact can always be broken if the right measures are in place. If the right circumstances are met, I should say. And as you hold his hand, you feel a brief, sudden stabbing headache for a moment, as it almost feels like you're you almost feel like you know everything, and then in a flash it's gone, and you just have this faint echo of a pain, which also slowly fades away. There are other matters to discuss before we discuss the knowledge on me that you wish to discuss. But the pact is made, and when you are ready, after the morning discussions have been made, you may ask.
All right.
All right,
I'll I'll talk it over. I'll be sure to talk it over with the others.
and
Just don't. Just don't. Just don't try to make me. He. He. Get Korax to make a pact with you. He. I don't. I'm not sure he'll be as easily convinced.
if I may, if I may be so bold as to use the wording of mortals, I do not want Corax.
I see.
He has already sworn his fealty to Vienna.
Technically, I'd already sworn my fealty to Alex.
What I mean is, if he would rather spite me and use Vienna to spite me to do it, then make a pact. And I am done playing. I am done trying to convince someone who makes me angry.
Fair enough.
But yeah, that's all I wanted to just quickly do. Really quick. I'm sorry to interrupt your conversation, but I just needed to get that done really quick. So basically, Ryu, what you missed because we were talking is Jezebel got information and the king is already dead, and there's a drow currently masquerading as them. And Thorax wants to storm in and expose them.
Uh-huh.
Alright. With that said, Thorax, I'll let you resume. Again, super sorry, but I just needed to get that out of the way because it could become relevant.
You are muted, Corax. In case you wanted to be someone talking.
Oh, okay. No, I think. Okay, I just wanted to get this out of the way because I think there may be some confusion. Cricket's got the wrong idea about what Korax actually did there. Korax never cared about spiting Cricket, and he did not make a pact with Vienna. She just wanted to get from point A to point B without turning to Cricket for help, and and she offered Vienna the chance to spite a Cricket in exchange for that.
That's fine.
Yeah, but
And
like just
I do appreciate the clarification, but at the
Yeah.
same time, that's how Cricket sees it.
Oh yeah, like I just wanted to make sure that make sure like everyone knew that he's kind of got the wrong idea there.
That's fine. Anyway, continue.
You wanted to disguise yourself as the imposter themselves?
I intend to disguise myself as the king, mimicking the. And since I can't mimic the king, I will mimic the imposter as best I can.
Are you gonna disguise yourself as the advisor?
Nope. I'm disguising myself as the king. Normally, I'd have to observe the king in order to do this, but since the king is dead, I'll have to observe the imposter who is disguised as the king.
We don't have a lot of time, though, dear.
Which is why we're going to do it right now.
But if you
You
can't
realize
make
I
a
could just turn myself
convincing,
into them, right?
Keep that as a
if
backup
you
plan.
can't
Because
make a
confusion,
convincing,
we'll have three kings show up.
Alright.
if I may make a slight counter suggestion,
Yes.
why not do the opposite? Make the king panic by becoming them instead, the advisor. Start spouting nonsense about the king, and see their reaction, and see maybe they might not have a moment of weakness, so that way I can try to get into the palace and see where they're keeping the orb. We need to get that orb back, or we need to get the stone. As another suggestion, I'm just saying, because technically speaking, we don't know where the king is currently. We need to find them, and that takes more time. Not only that, but if we ask around, could be suspicious. I'm just saying, maybe just think just a little, dear. Being rash is Foxy's thing, not yours. No offense, Foxy.
To be honest,
okay,
I don't.
You called us rash, and you're right, but but my plan is basically to just go in and beat that information out of him.
Which again, still rash, dear.
So,
They are apparently a powerful mage.
I'm gonna cut you guys off there because Charlotte has been working on something and you guys haven't asked what she was working on.
We didn't
Well,
know
I'm kind
she
of
was something.
That's the thing, we don't know. So I'm waiting for Charlotte to butt in. So Neku, butt in any time, my friend.
That's why I wanted to bring it up.
Yeah.
What?
Would you like to? Would you like to show? Would you like to show what you have made to the class, Charlotte?
Yeah. I think, if I may, before we get started on anything, Charlotte, what were you working on last night? If you don't mind me asking.
Charlotte just simply shrugs. I have made 40 things of dynamite, a grenade launcher, and I think 5 uses of ammo.
What's a grenade launcher?
It's like you know what dynamite is, right? Think of it, but a lot worse because I can fire it as a gun.
It's a gun that shoots dynamite?
It's a gun that
dynamite, yeah.
It's a gun that shoots explosions.
But yeah, what I plan to do was, as a failsafe on day 3, I was gonna blow up the tower.
But that would.
And you were going to tell us this when
it happened.
But that wouldn't that make us criminals?
Well,
they could make us criminals. If we get their attention, they can make us criminals at any time. Cicada.
Korax's plan would just basically backfire on her too, if that was the way, if she stormed in and actually failed. So there's always risk for that too. It would just be the same result, except maybe slightly different in damage.
Yeah. Yeah. You know what, Jezebel? Fine. We'll try it your way first. And if it fails, we just tackle the king to the ground and get that disguise of him by any means necessary.
I mean, it's 40 things of dynamite, so I can use it for anything, really. I was going to do a chain explosion in the area.
To
I
be,
figure
to be
I'll
fair, I'd rather not shoot something like that at the egg, but that is an idea.
Well, I'm surprised you're okay with me blowing up an egg. I was waiting for the egg to let go.
No,
This is
I am not,
fail-safe.
dear. That's what I'm saying.
That's
what I'm
that's
saying.
a
Did you put?
last resort.
I'm mostly saying the fact that this grenade launcher of yours can cause quite a bit of destruction. If we aim it somewhere else instead of the egg, it could be helpful. That's what I'm suggesting.
Was a distraction, you mean?
Yes.
I'd say I'll need 10 to bring down the tower, though. Are you sure you don't want me to bring down the tower?
And damage the egg, dear. At least maybe, if so, come the last minute, try to allow me to at least try to protect the egg, or at least let it hatch.
I mean, I was going to say I was going to hatch just when I was going to fire it afterwards. I don't need that. When they pull down the barriers, when I was going to blow up the tower. And probably the festival ground, but that's kind of a side bit.
At least maybe if we do so, it'll scare people out of the city, so this ritual, whatever, how it doesn't happen. So it's an idea.
Maybe we should focus on trying to stop the ritual before it happens.
Well, it won't
That
happen if there's
too.
someone in the city.
Then
And an act
perhaps
of
we should
terrorism
be.
is enough to do it.
Then perhaps maybe Rash is best suited in the situation, as Korak said. If we do it today, the festival can be delayed.
That's another. That's another. That's another good point.
Charlotte just gives an annoyed look at Jezebel at this. I have 20 things of dynamite and 5 cases of explosions. You expect me not to use this?
Well,
I'm just saying, maybe
I
use it
expect you
earlier,
to
dear.
wait and see before we know you. I expect you to wait and see before we know what you use it on.
And Jez, in regards to trying to make them delay the ceremony, remember it's not up to them; it's up to the egg. And if
The
the
egg is
dragon,
going to hatch regardless, dear.
yes,
But at
they
least
will.
if we get.
They will still
Go
need.
ahead.
They will still need to manually turn off the barrier.
So yeah, we need to find the king. We need to find this imposter as soon as possible.
So I'll mention this because Cicada's the one who read the book, but because I think it's been forgotten. But Cicada, you read in the book that it's automatic. That even if they don't release the dragon, it will automatically be released. It's set to automatically
Yeah,
open at that time when the dragon hatches.
Go
What
down
I'm hearing is that
regardless.
we can't really do anything to slow down the ceremony. So instead, which means we need to foil the plot now. And I think Jezebel's alteration was a good one. I disguised myself as the advisor. I know his mannerisms very well, I assure you. And then we march in, and well, I'm sure he'll freak out. At which point we force him to confess. If he does it in sight of the guards, as then we could get them on our side.
What if this plan backfires?
Then
I get.
any
I
plan,
suggest we start
any
it.
plan we enact right now might backfire.
I guess we
And if it
won't know until we try. Also, Clara has true sight, so she could see through the illusion.
This is true. And out of character, don't we want to suspend the conversation so Cicada can do the stuff before we leave the building?
No, I can do it later. This is more important.
I mean, we have to wrap up very shortly anyway, so if you want, it does make a good ending point. A good point to wrap up before we continue next week.
You
I
sure?
think so, because only because we're kind of going in circles, but I think we're doing this. I guess we're just gonna storm the castle because we don't know what else to do. We're kind of acting rashly.
I'd
I
say
feel like
do
we've
it
been going.
simply because it's not going to be as fresh in your memory next week.
I feel like talking in circles is all we've been doing this entire session.
Yeah, sorry.
More like
Yeah.
2 sessions.
It hasn't
'Cause
been
we're all
like that.
unsure.
Like, you guys have made progress. You've discovered new information.
We did, but we also still trying to figure out what to do with
Talking-
this information, and we're also
Talking in circles kind of makes sense when you're doing this sort of mission. This isn't the sort of
know, but
mission
we're
where you just kill X beast. You're trying to stop, X from happening. It's going to take a lot of discussion. But someone has to get to sleep soon, so Cicada, would you like to do the final bit before we wrap up?
I think it would just mess with the pacing of this whole thing, honestly.
Well, the pacing was already ruined when we started talking about it being in circles. So, you know what I mean? And someone already set you up in character by saying Cicada has something.
Well, okay. In any case, there's one more thing before we set out. Something important.
What was that?
I remembered what my pact was with Cricket. I am not of this world.
What?
I'm like Charlotte. I'm not from here.
Oh.
Why does that sound familiar?
It was when I was just a toddler. The world that I knew fell to darkness. Horrible monsters came forth and killed my parents. And I tumbled down into a cave. And that's where I met him. I wanted to be safe from harm. That was what I demanded.
So you made the pact while you were just a scared child looking for safety.
He nods.
That's I
And did he fulfill that promise, dear? She says with a smile.
I think he's been trying to, at the very least. But I think that's a discussion for another time.
What did he ask in return?
I honestly forgot what he asked in return. Damn it.
So, what all he asked for in return was to be his patron. I mean, to be his warlock. That's all he asked.
All he wanted was for me to be his warlock. And that's it.
and the once a month thing
And the once a month thing.
that's been fulfilled. So
Yeah.
What's the once a month thing?
once a month
Oh
you
yeah,
take
the Charlotte
control of.
wasn't there.
Back when the campaign first started, when one of the things that Cicada agreed to was once a month Cricket would take control of her body, and that all stopped when he finally got a hold of the 3 jewels and made a body for himself.
Okay.
But yeah, that's all he asked. And part of that pact has already been fulfilled.
Very well.
But anyways, we should probably get to work.
Yeah.
Are you sure you're gonna be okay, Charlotte? You look tired.
I worked all night thinking that we weren't going to do anything today, so I'll suffer my own harsh.
Uh, okay.
Alright, then with that, we'll wrap this session up. Thank you all for tuning in. We'll see you next week. Bye bye.
Bye.
Goodbye.